Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with Fight Hub TV, powered by Stagefront VIP, and I'm joined now with Ben Shalom. Ben, it's good to see you here this week. This is our first interview, actually. This week, you've been pretty tied up with everyone else. How are you?
I'm very well. Good to see you.
Not the night that you were obviously hoping for your guy, Liam Smith. But like you said, there seemed to have been at some stage a little bit of pushing to get this fight over the line in fear that the fight between the two of them wouldn't happen for the rematch. But just want to talk a bit about it?
Yeah, he was absolutely gutted to postpone the first fight. He was even, I remember, from a ticket perspective, hotels, he was calling fans up. Like he was devastated, and then he had to work hard. He had the injury for a while, and his camp was short. He had to lose a lot of weight, not making excuses, but I couldn't believe what he came through to make sure he was here tonight, and he deserves a lot of credit for that, but ultimately he was sluggish. It wasn't the Liam Smith that I've seen or I'm used to. He'll be gutted, but as I say, credit to him because he kept on a massive night for us. He's given us two huge nights here at the Manchester Arena, and incredible atmosphere again, and but Chris was superb tonight.
Do you think that a third fight would be warranted?
Look, I think it's weird with boxing because the first fight, I remember when we announced it, people said, what's the point? Chris is too big. It's not a pay-per-view. It's not close. And then obviously Liam did what he did. Then when we called for the rematch, people were saying, what's the point in that? Because Liam's going to walk through him again. You never know in boxing. It's all about preparation. It's all about, at this level, what's going on behind the scenes. I know Chris's preparation for the first fight was terrible. I know Liam's was tough. They both had to come through a lot. It was like a yin and yang performance. I think Liam wants another big fight. I think he deserves one that he can prepare for. Let's see. But I think they both need a bit of time.
Liam mentioned a few times how the weight was killing him. Do you anticipate that he may consider moving up?
No, you know what? It's not the weight division. I saw him 2 weeks ago, and I hope he won't mind me saying it, but he was big. And I was thinking, how's he going to do this? And I was even thinking, should we change the weight? Should we move it up? It's not about him making the weight. He's absolutely fine, but because of the injury, he couldn't train for a long time. So it meant once he got back in the gym, he had a lot to do in a short period of time, and in the end, losing that amount of weight very quickly is always going to affect a fighter.
Right, absolutely. Big phrase, big win tonight for him. Just what are the thoughts? Like, what do you guys want to do with him next? What do you foresee for him?
Yeah, I thought he performed really well, to be honest. It was difficult because I know there was the low blow stuff, but he was hitting Dave a lot. And Dave's a tough guy. In the end, his jaw had cracked or something. And I know Chris was talking about him quitting, but he wasn't quitting. He couldn't carry on. His jaw was out of place. But it was the most high-profile fight Fraser's been involved in. Maybe Marius Wack is a superior level sort of fight, but this was a box office fight for him, and a lot of pressure against a fan favourite. He'll learn a lot from that. Dave Allen has been here before. He's been on the big stage, so he had that advantage, and it was just great to get Fraser out. I think keeping him active, keeping him learning, giving him different types of fights is only going to prepare him well, but I actually thought he performed really well.
Do you see the Fabio Wardley fight in the near future?
I hope so. I mean, since that saga, Fraser's boxed twice. They've still not boxed. So I'm glad that Fraser's active, getting rounds, learning. He's ready for the fight whenever Wardley and Adelaide decide to get it on, and hopefully soon then he'll be ready. And obviously Fabio will need to come through that first, and that is a huge fight, and it's still one I know Fraser really wants. But the key is to keep him active, give him a next fight. We can't wait for them to fight, but hopefully they get it on soon.
Natasha Jonas's name has been thrown around by two people in particular this week, with Lauren and then also Michaela. Yeah. There's options there for her. What is your guys' goal? What would you put together if you could?
I think Caroline Dubois is actually gutted that she can't fight Michaela May. It looks as though she's going to move up to welterweight, but it makes sense. Natasha Jonas fight. It's two big names, two big stars for a world title.
What's Natasha saying about it?
I think she wants to fight. She wants the big fight. She's done everything now. Like when we signed her, she hadn't even become a world champion. Now she's a 2-weight world champion. She just wants the big names, the big fights. Michaela May is a big name. Definitely a big fight there. And then hopefully the winner can fight Lauren Price.
Yeah. Well, I know Michaela's down.
Yeah.
That's what she wants.
Yeah.
Do you see Natasha, if you could make that fight happen, do you see that happening before the end of the year or the start of the year?
I think it can definitely happen before the end of the year. Yeah. we'll speak to Tash after this. She was here tonight and she was giving me some stick. But look, she wants the big fight. She's ready. She's in great form. I definitely think she's going to be hard for anyone to beat right now. But let's see how Michaela does.
All right, Ben. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know it's super late, so I appreciate you giving me a few of your minutes. And then, what's next? What can we anticipate next?
September 30th, the Breakthrough Show. Caroline Dubois headlines for the IBO World Title in a big test. She's a superb talent. Vidal Riley in the English title steps up in a big fight against Nathan Quallis. Callum Simpson on that card in his big step against Jermaine Brown, and then we're into Buatsi Aziz at the O2, which will be a monster like tonight.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye, Fight fans.